Embracing Vulnerability, Brené Brown's Secret to Authentic Connections. In a world where we often strive to present our best selves to others, there lies a secret to authentic connections that can transform how we interact with one another. Today, I want to dive deep into the realm of vulnerability, exploring its power and why it's so crucial in fostering genuine relationships. Our guide for this journey is none other than Brené Brown, a research professor at the University of Houston who has dedicated her career to understanding vulnerability, courage, shame, and empathy. Her groundbreaking work has shed light on what makes us human and how embracing vulnerability can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. The power of vulnerability. Have you ever found yourself hesitating to share something important with a friend or loved one because you're afraid they won't understand or accept your feelings? Or perhaps you felt too ashamed to express your true thoughts and emotions, even when you know it would help you grow or heal. These are common scenarios that many of us face, yet they are also opportunities to break free from the masks we wear and truly connect with others. Brené Brown suggests that vulnerability is not weakness, but rather the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. It's a willingness to show up and be seen, despite our fears. This idea resonates deeply within me because I've experienced firsthand how much we miss out on by keeping things hidden. When I was navigating my first major life transition, I found myself holding back on expressing my struggles, fearing judgment or rejection. It wasn't until I finally allowed myself to be vulnerable that I started to heal and find support in unexpected places. Why vulnerability matters. Vulnerability is essential for building trust and intimacy in relationships. It allows us to open up and reveal parts of ourselves that are often kept hidden behind a facade. When we're vulnerable, we invite others to do the same, creating a safe space where mutual respect and understanding can flourish. Think about times when you've shared your deepest fears or desires with someone close to you. How did it feel to be seen and heard? Did it make you feel closer to that person? These moments are the essence of authentic connection. Moreover, vulnerability is a catalyst for growth. By being willing to expose ourselves to potential criticism or rejection, we become more resilient and adaptable. We learn to navigate challenges more effectively and develop the skills needed to overcome obstacles. For instance, when Brené Brown herself faced a significant setback in her career, she had to confront her vulnerability head-on. Instead of shutting down or withdrawing, she chose to embrace the uncertainty and use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. This experience taught her valuable lessons about resilience and helped her build stronger, more authentic relationships. Overcoming fear of vulnerability. One of the biggest barriers to embracing vulnerability is fear. We worry about being judged, rejected, or misunderstood. However, Brené Brown argues that vulnerability is not synonymous with weakness. Rather, it requires strength. It takes courage to admit our imperfections and let go of control. But the alternative, remaining isolated and unfulfilled, is far worse. Consider this. How many times have you held back from reaching out to a colleague or friend because you were afraid of sounding foolish or inadequate? What if those missed opportunities could have led to invaluable connections and learning experiences? By confronting our fears and allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, we not only create richer relationships, but also enhance our overall well-being. To overcome our fear of vulnerability, Brené Brown recommends starting small. Begin by sharing something personal or admitting to a mistake with someone you trust. As you practice vulnerability regularly, you'll gradually build the confidence to engage in more significant conversations. Remember, vulnerability isn't about making yourself look good. It's about being true to yourself and allowing others to see the real you. Practicing vulnerability in daily life. So, how can we integrate vulnerability into our daily lives? One effective way is through gratitude practices. Expressing appreciation for the people and things in our lives fosters a sense of connection and openness. Take a moment each day to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for and consider how they relate to vulnerability. Perhaps it's the kindness of a stranger who offered help, or the support of a friend during a tough time. By focusing on these positive aspects, we can cultivate a mindset that embraces vulnerability. Another practical step is to engage in regular self-reflection. Set aside time to think about your values, beliefs, and goals. Consider how your actions align with these principles. When you're honest with yourself, you'll be better equipped to communicate your vulnerabilities to others. For example, if you value honesty, you might decide to be more transparent in your interactions, even if it means risking criticism or disagreement. Additionally, seek out environments that encourage vulnerability. Attend workshops, join groups, or participate in online forums where people openly discuss their experiences and challenges. These spaces provide a supportive community that validates your feelings and helps you feel less alone. Just remember to approach these communities with an open mind and a willingness to learn from others. Overcoming social media's influence. In today's digital age, social media platforms play a significant role in shaping our perceptions of vulnerability. They often present a curated version of reality, where perfection seems to reign supreme. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy and pressure to conform. However, Brené Brown warns against letting social media dictate our standards of vulnerability. Instead, focus on finding authentic connections offline where vulnerability can thrive. When you're scrolling through your feed, take a moment to pause and reflect on whether the posts you're seeing are genuinely representative of the individual's lives or simply filtered highlights. This awareness can help you appreciate the raw, imperfect nature of real connections. Remember, the most meaningful relationships are built on vulnerability, not perfection. Embracing vulnerability in relationships. Vulnerability is particularly crucial in romantic relationships. When partners allow themselves to be vulnerable, they create a foundation of trust and intimacy. Open communication about feelings, needs, and boundaries strengthens bonds and prevents misunderstandings. For example, imagine 2 partners who consistently check in with each other about their emotional state. Even if they don't always agree, this level of vulnerability fosters a deeper understanding and support system. However, vulnerability doesn't guarantee smooth sailing. Challenges will inevitably arise, and it's during these moments that we need to be honest with ourselves and each other. When disagreements occur, try to address them with empathy and openness. By doing so, you demonstrate your commitment to maintaining a healthy relationship based on mutual vulnerability. The impact of vulnerability on mental health. Lastly, let's explore the profound impact of vulnerability on mental health. Research has shown that experiencing vulnerability can lead to greater psychological well-being. When we allow ourselves to feel and express our emotions, we reduce stress and improve our resilience. By acknowledging our fears and weaknesses, we gain a clearer understanding of our strengths and limitations. This self-awareness is essential for achieving balance and harmony in our lives. Furthermore, vulnerability promotes healthier coping mechanisms. Instead of bottling up our emotions, we learn to manage them constructively. This process can alleviate symptoms of anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. As Brené Brown eloquently puts it, vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. By embracing vulnerability, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and opportunities for growth. Conclusion. In conclusion, embracing vulnerability is a transformative journey that can enrich every aspect of our lives. Whether it's in our personal relationships, professional endeavors, or everyday interactions, vulnerability allows us to connect authentically and grow personally. By following Brené Brown's guidance and practicing vulnerability regularly, we can build stronger, more meaningful connections with others. So, let us dare to be vulnerable, knowing that the rewards are immeasurable. Remember, vulnerability isn't about losing control. It's about taking control of our lives by being true to ourselves. Embrace this challenge and watch as your world opens up to new possibilities and experiences.